listening to The Real Fan Review with Hav, Sanj, Al, and B.
What's going on, podcasters and YouTubers? This is Hav here, one of your hosts from The Real Fan Review. And today with me, I got your man in the chair, Al.
How's it going, everybody?
Yeah, man. No B, no signs tonight. Both stuck with work and other issues. So me and Al got this for this week. So we're going to get into the news this week because there were two things that came out in the news with Deadpool being introduced into the MCU sometime soon and rated R. So we'll find out what Al thinks about that. Mm-hmm. We also got word that Cap is going to be signing back with the MCU. It's not for sure yet, but that's the rumor going around. So we'll talk about that. And we're going to get you into the WandaVision episodes 1 and 2 review, plus the things we've seen today. So let's get right into it, Al. Let's talk about the news of the week there. We got Cap being rumored to be coming back. Chris Evans signing a contract, they said, for possibly 2 movies or more. And they're thinking that it's going to be either like almost like Tony Stark's role in the movies after Iron Man 3, where he didn't have his own movie, but he was like a major factor in Civil War, in Spider-Man, and things like that. So, I mean, what's your thoughts on possibly having Chris Evans back as Captain America? Too soon, or should they let it be? What's your thoughts?
I think they should have kept it quiet, because I think it's kind of taken away from other stuff, especially Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's going to take a lot of thunder away from that show now, if you know that Cap is back in the mix somehow. But what I think is really going to happen is like he won't, like you said, he won't be the major portion of the show. He'll be like maybe in flashbacks or redoing a certain scene, like especially Loki. His whole thing is going to be time travel. So I could see them maybe doing like a kind of like what we saw in Endgame, where they're reappearing in certain times. So you'll have him reprising Cap at that time that they're going back to, or in the case of Falcon and Winter Soldier, like just flashbacks.
Right.
You know, maybe during certain events, certain motions, especially Bucky having that history, that long time history with him, maybe coming back and remembering events as he's becoming like the good Winter Soldier and so forth. So I don't think he's like you said. I don't think I'd love to see it. I saw an image of it on Instagram, like a 6-parter series talking about him taking the stones back. I thought that was that would be a great like mini series. But I don't think he's gonna get like his own movie or anything again.
Yeah, I mean, I if he signed on for 2 things, Al, the 2 things I want to see personally is the 6-part miniseries of him returning each stone. Yeah. Oh my God, that would be crazy. That would be absolutely nuts if they showed that, because we all wondered how it happened. How would it be? The chance to see him fight, you know, the Red Skull there. Yeah, you know, that would have been insane. And the other thing I would want to see him in is if they ever do Secret Wars. You know what I mean? Okay. I'm not sure. So I hear a lot of people talking about the multiverse of madness, him coming back is either a different Cap from a different multiverse, or maybe even an evil Cap. I don't want to see that. If you're going to bring Cap back, I want to see it for something crazy like Secret Wars. And also, like, again, like I was saying, that 6-part series of him returning the stones would be amazing. Now, most likely he'll be in. I personally think, I heard this in one of the shows here. I think John Campea actually said it, was he's thinking that maybe it's going to be for Black Panther too. And it makes a lot of sense because, again, they don't have a serious lead actor in that movie right now. And to try to work a story and everything like that, it would make it more interesting if we knew Chris Evans was going to be a part of that Black Panther movie, since we know they're not going to recast it to T'Challa role. There's going to be a brand new Black Panther. Who knows if it's going to be Shuri or if it's going to be M'Baku, you know what I mean? So it'll be something that it sounds more realistic if they put Captain America in that. But yeah, man, I'm all with you, man, on that 6-part series.
But now, is he old Cap?
That's the thing. I don't know if they're going to do old Cap or if they're going to do some kind of like time travel thing again, because they already put that element into the world, which is something that you said in the like before Endgame came out, is now that you've opened up time travel, can you just always grab the person you need or want from any time period? You know, it's kind of cheesy, but at the same time, an excuse to get you those people, right? So.
Yeah. No, and another thing I would want them to explain, and because I've heard a couple of people joke about this, and it bothered me too. Like, Cap aged very slowly, but yet between from 19 whenever he went back with Peggy, like why did he age at the same rate as Peggy all of a sudden? Like, because like he was as old as she was in the present time when he buried her in one of the
Mhm.
earlier movies. I forget if it was Winter Soldier or yeah, I think it was Winter Soldier. So why does he all of a sudden age? Because didn't the serum slow down his aging and he
Right. And you know
so
what's funny is we don't really know if he came from that certain time period because I don't know if you heard like the producers plus the writers, they have different takes on how time travel worked and if that Captain America is from their timeline or another timeline, right?
yeah.
So it would make sense to me is if he was from a different timeline and he lived his whole life and he knew to go back to this world somehow some way at that time period to give the shield up, but a lot of it doesn't make sense if you start to overthink it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's one of those things. That's like, yeah, just accept it.
yeah, yeah. Whatever story, yeah, if they put a young Cap, whatever story explanation, okay,
What was that
makes
line?
sense.
What was that line intended? What was the line intended, Al?
uh,
With don't worry about it.
uh, yeah,
Don't
yeah, yeah. Don't worry about it. Yeah,
don't worry
yeah,
about it. Just just listen, watch the movie.
yeah, yeah. Exactly. Basically, don't even
Yeah,
try to
man. But I
figure it
mean,
out.
like either way, man. One of my things also, Al, is, and I want to know your take on this, is that a part of me kind of wants Tony Stark, Captain America, and Black Widow to be left alone.
Yeah,
Like they did their thing, they have their story, they have their moments, they have their history, and they gave their either their life or their whole entire life to the cause, right?
hmm
And now we're gonna bring them back for the fans. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like I get that is all entertainment and it's cool to have them back, but a part of me is also like, come on, man, let them be. Let's get some new people in here. Let's get attached to someone else. Because when I remember when Captain America was first going to be put into a movie, it was like that guy's corny, Captain America, But they made Captain America someone you respected and liked and thought he was awesome in the movies. But
Yeah.
a part of me kind of wants them to stay away because now I feel like any day now we're going to hear that Tony Stark's or Robert Downey Jr. is going to be signing a contract to be Iron Man again. Any day now, I almost feel like it's going to happen. So, what's your take on that? Like, what's your thought? Do you care that they're bringing these characters back, or do you kind of want to leave them in the past
No,
and
I
keep moving?
agree. No, I agree with you. Leave them. You already made your decision to kill off Iron Man and
Mhm.
basically kill off Captain America. So just let it be. Stay with that decision and move on. Now, if you see that the new characters and the new storylines that you're bringing maybe don't take the way their storylines took, then maybe bring it back to pump some blood back into the story,
Right.
into the universe and so forth. But you haven't even given like WandaVision hadn't even come out yet, and you were already talking about bringing Cap back. So
Dude,
like
the
you
last
hadn't,
movie was Spider-Man, and before that was Endgame.
yeah,
So he's one movie off.
yeah. So you haven't really given your new phase a chance to even show whether we're gonna like it or not. Like we haven't reacted to it. There's nothing for us to react to yet. So to already try to put these guys in queue oh yeah, we're bringing them back, guys. All right, but we haven't even shown you there was a reason to tell us that. Like,
Yeah.
let us enjoy this. The only thing I can think of is the unfortunate passing of Chadwick Boseman may have caused us maybe some second guessing in terms of what are they going to do with the next phase, because
Right. Who's
I
going to be the
still believe
leader?
I still believe his character Black Panther was going to be a major part. So now you've
Absolutely.
lost that major part, maybe a lot of what they were going to encompass a lot of the stories around. So who do you replace him with?
Right. Yeah, no, I feel
So
you. Makes sense because I could have seen him being the leader. I know Captain Marvel is supposed to be a leader, but I don't think that her movie and her role in Endgame gave her that like prestige to be like, oh, that's the leader of the
yeah,
Avengers there. So I think when Chadwick Boseman is passed, yeah, I think they kind of ruined their plans for who the next leader of the group is going to be.
hmm
Even though I could see Doctor Strange probably leading them also, but
yeah,
we'll see how it goes. But it's exciting to hear him back. And listen, anytime
hmm
you can have a chance to have Chris Evans back in a movie, you'll take it. So
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
guy's fantastic, man. I don't know if you guys ever saw him in Knives Out. He's fantastic in that also. So
yeah. Or even if you go back, uh, Piercer,
Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of those surprise movies that I threw on just because he was in it.
Right.
So yeah, if you like Chris Evans and you want, like, go check that one out. He did a good job in that one. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. And then the other bit of news that came out last week before it got overtaken with all the Captain America, Chris Evans stuff was Deadpool 3 is actually confirmed to be in the MCU and it will be rated R, which is absolutely shocking because if you guys know Disney, Disney doesn't do PG-13. So let alone rated R, they're going to do, a Deadpool movie and it's going to be in the MCU. Now,
Mhm.
as exciting as it sounds, it does seem like they're just starting the process now. So most likely we won't see this movie for like maybe another 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
But still exciting news, and I'm surprised. I'm not sure how they're going to work in rated R Deadpool into the mix with this, but I think they'll work it out. Al,
Yeah.
what's your thoughts on Deadpool being in the MCU there, rated
I,
R?
I like that he's in the MCU. I love that they kept it rated R because it means that we're getting the character that everybody reacted to, everybody fell in
Yeah,
love with. So we're getting that Deadpool. We're not getting a watered down one. Um, but it also makes me feel like they're going to already have introduced X-Men then by the time whenever Deadpool 3 is planned to come out.
hmm
So, it makes me wonder if there's some truth to one of these movies going to be the role. I think which was the movie? Maybe even the
Captain Marvel too.
no, not Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. I think that might
Right.
bring them out because it's a major movie with a lot of dynamics, and
hmm
it has the ability to bring the mutants in because now you're going through all these
Right.
different universes, and he goes through one that has the mutants, and now it explains why Deadpool is possible. So, and in the MCU, so
Yeah.
it makes me wonder now which of these movies before Deadpool is going to introduce them, how, and it's making me interested again. Like I said, making me interested again because how are you going to bring in the mutants?
Yeah.
Is it
I, I, I
WandaVerse?
I'm just looking forward to him making jokes about Disney letting him curse.
Yeah, because he
I
breaks
can.
the fourth wall, so there's going to
Oh,
be a lot of jokes about
he's
that.
gonna have so many jokes about Disney, man. I can't even wait for that, man.
Yeah,
But again, it looks like we're gonna have to wait a couple of months or even years to even hear the next thing about this. Besides the fact that we know that they're working on it, so
yeah.
looking forward to it. I'm wondering if they're gonna continue with his old story with Cable or just something brand new. Just plop him right into the MCU and let him have fun.
Yeah, yeah. Now, I would think I hope they do something new.
hmm
Like, let that be okay. That was his story over there. Now just bring him into the MCU, but that same character.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it gives him an opportunity to bring the girlfriend back because she passed in the last one, so maybe bring her back
Right.
and do it. And just bring them into the MCU, both of them.
hmm All right, man. Looking forward to all these news. And listen, as we get more and more news about anything going on in the MCU or, again, one of the big blockbuster movies and stuff, we'll talk about it here right on the Real Fan Review every week that we do this podcast. So, listen, if you guys are watching on YouTube, let us know what you think about those two news stories there. What's your thoughts on Deadpool coming into the MCU or your thoughts on Chris Evans coming back as well? So, leave a comment below, or if you're listening on the podcast on your favorite podcast app, send us an email at therealfanreview@gmail.com and let us know what you think. Now, let's get into the business of the week, Al. We got the MCU back this week, man. The
Yeah, man.
Friday night, let me tell you, when I saw the Marvel Studios logo pop up and the little screens, oh my God, I got the little jitters.
Yeah, yeah,
It's good to have the MCU back, man.
yeah. And I like the fact that they updated it with clips from Endgame, Infinity War.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So let's get into the WandaVision. Now, guys, if you're listening to the podcast or you're watching on YouTube, we're gonna go straight spoilers. This is a show that's just 30 minutes long each episode, and anything you talk about is gonna be a spoiler. You can't just like walk around and we're not gonna recommend it or not. We're gonna just recommend it. Period.
yeah.
You gotta see it. It's the MCU. You gotta see it. Now, whether it's good or not, let's talk about that now. So, Al, after watching WandaVision, we haven't spoke yet. So, what was your thoughts watching that first episode?
watching the first episode made me understand why they released 2 episodes. Because the first episode by itself, I don't, it didn't show enough to make me say, "Ooh, I wonder where this goes." It really just felt like a lone
Yeah,
episode from a show way back. So like
right.
it didn't really give enough of, okay, there's something going on. Like that didn't happen until the second episode. So it
Mhm.
made me just appreciate the fact that there was a second episode after that. Plus, it gave
Yeah,
me even more to watch, so I liked it for that reason as well. But now the first
yeah.
episode it was a little weird. It shows it was good in the sense that it
Uh-huh.
was a great episode. The two of them playing off, the comments and everything, but it
Mhm.
just made me wonder, like, what the hell is going on?
Right, absolutely.
Like,
That's the thing. The same thing I was thinking the entire time watching it, because we're all fans of the MCU, so we kind of know everything that's going on, and we know off the bat something's off. Vision's
mhm.
supposed to be dead. What the hell's going on with the black and white?
Yeah, yeah, eh,
But I agree with you completely why they put 2 episodes out, because that first episode again was just pretty much like there was really nothing of a hint of weird things or anything going on. It was just an episode kind of thing.
mhm,
And I also think to kind of get people like the younger people not to bypass it because it's in black and white, technicolor, all that stuff like that.
yeah,
So, they just gave you 2 episodes to get the black and white versions of the episodes done, because now we're going into the color TV episodes of the show and it'll move on. I think there's going to be more in-depth, like, if you watch the end of episode 2, you saw that there was like a little cliffhanger or something, like something almost happened and then
mhm,
it didn't. There's little more and more clues of what's happening. So I think the third episode is going to get a little bit more deeper into it,
yeah,
which is a good reason to wait now for the next episode. But let's get back into that first episode. I think the way that it started off out was actually pretty cool. It gave that little WandaVision, the little old school intro to the show there.
yeah,
And it's funny, you see that she's already controlling certain things. They pull up to a house that's for sale. She changes it sold.
mhm,
But I found one of the first jokes a little interesting because it was her moving plates around and she was cleaning plates and moving them back to where they belong. And Vision comes walking in and the plate hits his head
mhm,
and he goes, Wanda with her saucers, and she go, Vision with his indestructible head. And I was
yeah.
like, oh, too soon, too soon. Because if you guys know in Envision, if you saw in Infinity War, his head was definitely not indestructible.
Yeah.
So I mean, when you heard that joke, did you first think something like, "Uh-oh"?
Yeah, yeah. I thought it might have been like a little, like it obviously came off as a joke, as a one-liner from the shows, the way they did it back then. But it makes me feel more so that this is everything she wanted life to be like,
Gotcha.
and the fact that he was able to get the stone torn out, she wished he had an indestructible head. So like this is all more things she wishes.
Hmm.
So that it made me wonder if that was something that she wished that he had an indestructible head. Something like that. As corny as that sounds, as stupid as that sounds,
No, no,
you looking for
makes
little
sense.
hints as to where the show is going and what it's hinting at. Like it's making me think that this whole situation is what she's wishing, and she's making what she wished a reality.
Gotcha. Yeah, I spent the first time watching the first episode, and I'm notorious for this, is looking for clues when I should just be watching the show, right? So when they looked at the calendar and they saw the heart on the 23, I'm like, what does the heart mean? What is it? What is it?
Yeah, what
And
was on August 23rd?
and it ended up just being his boss's almost like an icon for his boss's name, was Mr. Hart. And I was
Yeah,
like, oh, I'm here looking for the deeper layer meaning of it or anything like that. And it's just no, just his boss's name.
yeah.
But I did find the way that they played that off like pretty cool. You could see that even Vision doesn't know what's going on. He's working at a company. He's like, what do we do here?
Yeah.
you know, what do we do here? What is it that we sell? It's like, you know.
But see, yeah, it made me whatever it just shows how great her power is, because if she's controlling all of this, she's even giving them backstories,
Hmm.
jokes. They have their own form of history that they remember. So
Yeah.
it just was incredible in terms of the extent that she was able to make this whole story.
Yeah, man. And really quick, I got a question for you on this. Like, your opinion on it. Do you think those people are like manifested into this whatever world it is, whether she's creating it or somebody else is creating it, or are these people that are really there and just being controlled?
I'm thinking, as of right now, I'm thinking these people are really there and they're being controlled. And it was the dinner scene that made me think that.
Right. So let's talk about that dinner scene. So, we
Yeah.
have the whole funny shtick of the boss coming over for dinner and, them not knowing what to give the boss or what to make, which also I have a problem with that because if she could just snap things, how come she didn't just snap a dinner? But
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
But it was still funny. The Yakety Yak Don't Talk Back song was absolutely hysterical. Um, but yeah, in that scene out when they're at the dinner table and you see the Mrs. Hart was asking a lot of questions about, where are they from? How did they meet? Why don't they have children?
Hmm.
When did they get married? And they couldn't come up with an answer. They legitly were trying to answer the question, which is like even Wanda was legitly trying to answer. She was like looking to the side and thinking. You could see Vision. I'm confused about Vision because a part of me looked like he was looking for the answer also, but another part of me looked like he was looking at her to get the okay to speak almost.
Hmm.
I don't know, but you can see that things were getting the tension was building, and then all of a sudden, Mr. Hart, the boss of Vision, starts getting more forceful, and then he starts choking on some kind of food or something like that. And this is the part where it gets like it turns into like almost like you ever seen don't what is it? Don't touch me, I'm scared, or don't kiss me, I'm scared. Don't hug me, I'm scared. It's this YouTube thing where there's like meanings in the background of everything that they're doing, and there's like it's like little quick 5-minute episodes of like a freaky cartoon kind of thing, right? And this is where it kind of like almost freaked me out a little bit because the mom's going, "Stop it, stop it, stop it." She just keeps repeating, "Stop it," and she's looking at Wanda directly at one point
Hmm.
and saying to her to stop it, which is what makes me think like do they know what's happening and they're being controlled or are they all in on this like fake thing that they're doing?
Yeah. Well, that's what made me think that not that they're in on it, but that they're being controlled. But they are, to a certain degree, are aware of what's going on. So when she saw him choking, probably that's really her husband. She sees him
Mhm.
choking to death. So she really wanted Wanda to stop it. So that's why, even though the scene was calling for her to laugh, you could tell from her eyes that she was like almost crying, "Stop it."
Right, yes, she was almost
So,
crying there,
yeah,
yeah.
but her face was laughing, like and smiling, but yeah, she was like crying, "Stop it, stop it." And then that's when Wanda finally told Vision to,
Yeah.
help him. And if you notice, there's a subtle change in the tone of their voice. Like they're talking a certain way, their voice has a certain tone, but when she
Mhm.
talks to him serious, like normally, she's a little deeper in her voice and so forth. So I
Mhm.
noticed that when she said that, and then at the end of the next episode where she says
Right.
no,
No,
yeah, there's a different tone. So
more of a
but
controlling tone or like in
yeah.
power yeah, okay.
And then the same thing with the husband. He got stuck in, well, why are you here? Why, like, damn it, why are you here? And I don't think they know why they're there.
Right.
Because, like,
But that's the
remember the
thing, like
whole, the whole,
if Wanda's creating it, how does she not know why they're there? Or like she's not coming up with the story. It's almost like she's lost in it also,
yeah,
you
it's
know?
almost like, and this is, we'll get to it when we talk about the next episode.
Mhm.
It's like they're there. They don't know why they're there, but she's taking the opportunity to, again, live the life she wanted to. But
Mhm.
they don't even know why they're there because they didn't know what the meaning of August 23rd was. They didn't know what the
No.
heart was. So it's almost like they got put there and
Mhm.
everything was already set up. So they're
Gotcha,
just,
man.
so that's the impression I'm getting. Like, and she's just living it up. She's making everything be the way she wants it to be, but
Mhm.
she even doesn't know why they're there.
Exactly, man. And then the weird part after that, even weirder, was the boss gets up from almost choking to death and just walks like, "Well, Vision, we're going to talk about that promotion on Monday," and walks out.
Yeah.
I like that the Mrs. Hart covered Wanda's eyes and goes, Guess who's leaving?
Uh,
That was funny, man. But another character that's in there that we haven't really talked about is the next door neighbor, who's Agnes,
mhm.
and her character, man. And I wanted to see what you thought about her role, because to me, there's something coming across from her that she knows more than she's letting on.
Yeah,
You know, she happens to show up at the right time. She's almost like guiding Wanda to do certain things, and she's leaving a lot of like impressions on what to do next, kind of thing.
yeah,
So, and I think it's Catherine Hahn is the
yeah,
actress who plays her. She's
yeah,
actually killing in this show
yeah.
with
Oh,
that.
yeah, yeah.
But what's your thoughts on her on Agnes there?
I feel like her character is actually in on whatever's going on. Because to your point, she does the whole in the beginning, like, asking her questions, this and that to get to know her, but she doesn't seem to get strayed the way the other characters do. Like, she doesn't find anything odd. The only time she found something odd was when Scarlet Witch says, "Oh, maybe I'll just act like myself." And like, she looks scared of her doing that.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
like, and then she gets back into character and continues the scene. So it's like she knows something's going on, and like what we said in the other episode, I'm wondering if Mephisto is part of this because of certain lines that she says. Looking at other stuff, the fact that her rabbit is called Senor Scratchy, and turns out that that's a nickname, for the devil and everything.
I never knew Senor Scratchy was a nickname for the devil.
Kid, no.
Senor Scratchy?
Yeah. But the line that made it obvious for me was when the girl says, when the woman in the scene says, "Oh, the devil is in the details," and she leans over and she goes, "That's not the only place he is." So I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, a little hint, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, man. And then I mean, I just think like she's in the know of something, and again, I like her character. In the first two episodes that I've seen, she's actually pretty funny when she shows up and
Yeah.
everything. The last thing to talk about just on the first episode there was what you think on the commercial for the Tony Stark toaster oven.
I thought that was cool because if you notice when they first turn on the stove, you hear that ching, like that sound, and it was so, and that is Stark Enterprises. So I thought that was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I got my theory on that on these commercials, man. I think these commercials are kind of bringing us along with how Wanda became Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. Because if you guys realize or remember from Age of Ultron, WandaVision and not WandaVision, I'm sorry, Wanda and her brother there, the reason they were mad at Tony Stark or wanted to get at the Avengers was because a bomb exploded and messed up their house, and they killed their mom and dad. And there was another bomb that was just there. So she said all they saw was Tony Stark. So if you hear the toaster oven, it sounds like the beeping is getting faster, like it's going to blow up. And it's funny because that lady who's in the commercial, she's like, when it's going beep, 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 she's like, she looks at like all weird for a second. And then she's like, okay.
Yeah. And then the next episode, the commercial, you know what, you put me onto, I think you're onto something with that. Yeah.
I didn't realize it until the Strucker watch.
Yep, that's what I was. Yeah. That one, yeah. Now that you're talking about, because wasn't he the guy that was doing the testing,
the experiments? Yeah, he's the one who kind of like gave the powers or had the powers manifest from the it's either the time stone or the mind stone. The mind stone it was. Yeah. So interesting, man. But listen, first episode was pretty funny. I did laugh out loud for a couple of those scenes in there, and I completely dug the whole humor. I used to watch Bewitched when I was younger, so it kind of like reminded me of it. But the second episode was a little bit more Bewitched for real and less, the Van Dyke Show kind of thing. I never watched the Van Dyke Show when I was younger. But Bewitched, yes. But let's get right into that second episode there, Al. So in this episode, they look like they're creating a magic show for the town. And this episode was the one that I think leaned on more of, no, there's something definitely going on here, right? Yeah. We had the helicopter, the toy helicopter that was in actual color in the house. We also had the noises for outside of the house. What else did we have there in this episode? When the neighbor cut her hand, we actually saw the hand bleeding. we saw the blood and the color rather than
Hmm.
black and white like everything else was. Al mentioned the devil in the details kind of thing, which was a pretty funny line when she said that. I was like, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
that's not all he's in. But I think the thing that made me think about like there's more stuff at play is the ending of this show is when you said the beekeeper there.
Hmm.
The beekeeper comes out of the manhole cover on in the street, and she says no. She just says no. She doesn't want to witness it, and it rewinds. I don't know, Al. I mean, I'm like, I'm back and forth. At first, I'll think like, okay, yeah, she's controlling this. This is clearly a take on the House of M storyline from the comic books, and she's in control. But then a part of me is like, I don't know, man. Maybe they're doing something different here, man. What about you?
Well, it made me feel like that she's in control of it, but she was put there because if you know, she
Mm,
has control of everything. So, and that's why it's interesting that because I think the Agnes character is meant to keep her on track.
gotcha.
Like put her in the mind of, oh, I don't see a ring on you. So, like, if you guys are married, why is there no ring? Like, so she's there to make her stay on track of this is the story you're supposed to be living, and pointing
Hmm.
out to her maybe where she's lacking in terms of making the story whole, and then
Gotcha.
put the idea and then of the kids. So because
For
if you
the
notice in this
children.
episode, everybody like a mantra was saying for the children, for the children.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's going on. And to your point, like she was starting to see that the outside world is maybe reaching out to her because you heard the radio, the voice on the radio, the helicopter, which
Hmm.
sadly I think was a real helicopter that got caught
Yeah.
up in this fake reality. And because she's making everything fake, it turned it into a toy helicopter.
Gotcha.
Um, like it's yeah, I don't know, but it's in terms of the storyline,
Hmm.
it's pushing forward that she's been given control of this environment. She just doesn't notice she's ultimately the one in control, and maybe that's why Agnes got so scared when she said, "Oh, maybe I'll just start acting like me,"
Yeah.
because she knows that she actually has the power over this place.
Yeah, man. And what's funny on the second, because I watched it twice. I watched it on Friday night, and then I rewatched it last night. Since we didn't do the podcast, I just had a little extra time, so I figured I'll watch it one more time. And what I noticed on the second go round of the second episode is, that this whole magic show in the town is for the children. And if you look at every scene or in the background, in the pool, in the neighborhood, there are
There's
no
no
children in
children.
this town. So to me, this whole for the children thing is some kind of a mind game that they're trying to play with Wanda, which again, I go back and forth. Is Wanda controlling this, or is someone manipulating her to control this? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because it's like they're telling her to get married, to have the rings, to have children. And I don't know how much she's in control of or how much someone's guiding her to do these things.
Yeah,
And it's very interesting and cool the way they're doing this, and again, of course, they're playing with us. You get the radio wave saying, Wanda, who's doing this to you? Now
yeah,
I'm just so curious to know what's going on. I really am just so
yeah,
curious,
yeah.
and it's such a good thing, man. And what I was going to ask you was, like, with the two episodes there, where do you see like maybe this possible third episode going, as far as like, in the end of the first episode, you see the sword signal.
Hmm.
We've seen the commercials where we see there's a team actually outside of whatever this thing is. What do you expect to see in this third episode for WandaVision?
Well, we're gonna probably see her kids because it looks like they're progressing through. I don't know if it's decades, but it's definitely a set of time passing between each episode.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see a new show in the next episode. Um, I'm wondering, it makes me wonder if this is what the '60s, '70s.
So this is probably going to be the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, so because we know it looked like we were going to see not All in the Family. What was it? Married with Children. It looked like All in the Family
Right.
looked like a show. So
Full House for sure.
yeah, yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how they go through these shows, given that they're going
Hmm.
through time, and
Hmm.
it'll be interesting to see because she's already shown she can control time because she rewound it. So
Right.
so the next episode, I think we'll show the kids, we'll see the kids, and now we'll see how it reacts to these kids and what's
Mm-hmm.
the whole point of the kids. So that'll be interesting to see. Is she put here for the purpose of having created these two kids? And then what's the
Yeah.
point of these kids? What's their
Right.
purpose in
Why they being
furthering
why
the
they
show?
being made to have these two kids? What's going on with the two kids there?
Yeah.
So
And I
so
want to know
listen,
if
man.
Vision still is actually around, or is he a part of
Yeah.
her imagination?
Which what I was going to talk to you about right now, which is like we talk about Wanda throughout this entire thing, right? Wanda Vision, but we've been talking about nothing but Wanda. We brought up
Hmm.
Agnes and some of the stuff going on. How do you feel like Vision's doing in this show, man? Is he doing his thing, or how's your take on Vision?
Well, Paul Bettany is doing a great
Oh
job.
yeah,
I just don't understand the point of Vision. Like, what's like he got drunk off gum. He
dude,
swallowed
he was
gum and
funny.
okay,
He's been
that was.
funny.
But that's what I'm saying. Like he has the attributes of Vision, but he doesn't seem to have the personality of Vision. Like it's a
Right, right.
different personality almost. Like so
Mhm.
so it's I want to see what, like, that's what's making me more curious about, is this Vision? Like, does she bring Vision back?
Right,
Um or is this her impression of Vision? Is this her vision of Vision, so to speak?
right.
And how she saw him.
Yeah, I
And
wonder that
because
too, man.
she's filling in the gaps with certain events as they occur.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, there's a part of me is like every time that Vision's alone and we're watching what he's going through, he's as confused as anybody else. Like he
Hmm.
doesn't know what he's doing and why he's doing it. You
Hmm.
know, he goes to the neighborhood watch and he hears the jokes and he's trying to make sure people don't find out that he's an android. It still messes that up. You got the whole magic show stuff. It doesn't come across as the Vision that we've seen in the movies. It comes across like this character that's actually pretty damn funny, man. But but it's Vision. But he
Yeah.
seems just as confused as everybody else. Like I said in the first episode, when the guy was choking, he's looking at Wanda like he didn't know what to do. I mean, he's a hero as well.
Yeah,
You
yeah. And
know,
he needed her permission to do it. Like, in order for
yeah,
him to break character, he needed her permission. So that's what
right.
makes me feel like she's the only one that's real there.
Yeah, man. And even in the second episode, again, when the beekeeper came out of the manhole cover on the in the street, he hugs Wanda and almost doesn't know like what to do.
Hmm.
And she's the one who says no, and then you see the whole thing rewind back to where they're back on the couch,
Hmm.
which is pretty interesting, man. So I
Yeah.
don't know, man. I'm looking forward to this third episode. Again, I think it's going to be the Brady Bunch episode, so they'll be playing with those tropes of those times of the Brady Bunch
Yeah.
era. I'm sure
Oh,
we're going
true,
to get
true.
some kind of Marsha Brady reference.
With the football.
The football. So we're definitely going to get that, but I hope we do get more insight.
Yeah.
The one thing that I'm not going to enjoy is that it's most likely going to be a half-hour episode after
Yeah.
we just watched an hour of it. And again, it felt so good just to see the MCU back
Yeah.
and to get something that involves it.
Yeah. How many episodes do you think they'll let go before they show us what's happening outside of this? Because right now everything seems to be in there. Like, they're only showing us first episode, definitely, second episode, definitely, but they gave us a piece of outside with the helicopter. How
Right.
long until do you think they drag it out before they show us, okay, people from outside are trying? Like, we've seen that there's going to be a scene outside of
Yeah.
this enclosure or wherever they're at. So I'm wondering how long until we actually see that.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I think it's going to be after this episode. I think the end of the third episode, we're going to see what's going on outside of it because since it's a 9-episode thing, just try to, just break it up evenly. The first 3 episodes, your beginning, your 4, 5, and 6 is the middle,
Yes.
and then you have your grand ending in 7, 8, and 9. So I think at the end of this third episode, we're going to see something major. And I think that's the reason why they dropped the first 2 like they did, just to give us a little preview into this, to kind of get those things out of the way. Let's get to the story. And I think that the end or the something in this third episode, I think something's going to be major that happens. That's going to be even a more clue of what's happening in this show, man. But
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm happy to see it. And man, I can't wait for this third episode to talk to you guys about it next week, man. Yeah, man. So listen, that's our WandaVision review of episode 1 and 2. And again, guys, if you're listening on your podcast app. Let us know what you think of WandaVision. What do you expect for the third or for the rest of the episodes there? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think Wanda's in control? Are you with Al, the Mephisto's in this thing, or what? We'd love to know what you guys think. And if you're watching on YouTube, just comment there below. Let us know what's going on, and we'll respond back and let you know what we think as well. So the last thing we're going to talk about, Al, today, man, since it's just me and you.
Yeah.
We can't hear Sanj and Brandon's take. Next week we'll get it, hopefully. I can only imagine what Sanj and Brandon are thinking about WandaVision. But, usually what we do is we talk about things that we've seen this week, like movies or shows that we can recommend to people to watch. So what did you get to catch this week, Al? Anything particular or anything that you liked?
It's funny. I actually started watching Snowpiercer, the series on Netflix. So I started catching up on that. David Diggs from Hamilton.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in there. He's the main lead. It's a good show. I had heard of it for a while. As I mentioned earlier, I enjoyed the movie when it was out, and I found it interesting that they made a series out of it. I was like, how do you turn that into a series? And they actually did a good job at it. So,
is it a continuation from the movie, or is it something different?
Not at all. It's a different take on it, so to speak.
Gotcha.
Very similar. It's the exact same concept, but they've changed certain things, I guess, to facilitate a prolonged TV series.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, but it's the same principle, same concept. But it's definitely a good watch. So if you want to sit down and have the time, definitely start watching this. You'll start binging it if you're into sci-fi and everything at all, like me. I found myself 4 episodes in before I realized, oh, wait a minute, let me go get something to drink or something. It's definitely a good show. And he, again, just like he did in Hamilton, did a great job. Yeah, great job.
David Diggs, yes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, similar to you, man. I actually started binge watching a little bit of the Queen's Gambit. I'm not sure if it was you or Brandon that actually recommended it.
Brandon,
see it?
I remember he caught that.
Yeah. Put on the first episode just to kind of check it out, and was just like, oh, we got to watch one more. Yeah. And watch the second episode. And at the end of the second episode, it was like this close to watching a third episode, but then it was like midnight. And I was like, all right, you know what? We got to chill right there. And so we stopped, but we're waiting to see this third episode now. But it was definitely interesting, man. I think it's Anna Joy or Anna something. I forgot her name, but she was in the New Mutants, and she's also popping up in a couple other movies right now. But she's doing a great job in this movie in this series. So something definitely looking forward to watching. But, we haven't done this like segment that we normally do, which is the movies that we've seen in a couple of weeks now. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. 2021 just started maybe about 2 weeks ago. And one of the first movies to come out for 2021 was something called Shadow in the Clouds. And I got to watch that with, I think, I forgot her name is Chloe Moretz, I believe it is.
Yeah.
She's from the, what was that? It's not Fight Club, but it was the superheroes.
I remember her from Neighbors. I don't know if you...
Neighbors. Neighbors was funny, but Kick-Ass is where she was from originally. She was in Kick-Ass 1 and 2, and I did happen to watch it because it was the first movie of 2021. It came out actually on January 1st, and I got to watch it on video on demand, and God damn it, man. You just I try to give all these movies a shot, and it was actually it was I don't want to say it was entertaining, but it definitely kept me on for the ride to kind of see what happens next. Okay. It's not something I think you should rush to go see, so don't rush to see it. But it was something interesting. It wasn't god awful. It wasn't terrible. And there's a scene in the end that was just a little bit like, oh my God. Okay. So, Shadowed in the Clouds, one of the first movies for 2021 that came out. And I also got to see over this past weekend that came out was One Night in Miami. It just came out on Amazon Prime, and I got to check it out. And I thought it was actually a pretty good movie. It's a fictional tale of Muhammad Ali. I can't remember one of the guys' names there now. It was Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Jim Brown.
Oh wow!
And there's one more guy, a singer, something Sam Cooke, I believe it is. So it's the 4 guys that they met up after Muhammad Ali won his first championship. And it was kind of like they were trying to, Malcolm X was trying to convert or speaking to Muhammad Ali about converting him to Islam or to the Muslim faith, and him also expressing how he feels that Jim Brown and Sam Cooke could also, be a movement or be a voice to his movement of bringing power to the Black community. You know what I mean? And it was actually pretty interesting for movies that just talk is not really my style of movies, but I got to say this movie kept me entertained. It was actually pretty good just to hear them talk. There's one particular conversation that absolutely floored me, was between Jim Brown and Malcolm X, that I think alone is a reason to watch this movie. It's just to hear the conversation was interesting.
wow.
But because it was fictional, it wasn't real. I'm like almost like, you should see it, but don't rush to see it, kind of thing. But it was interesting. And so far, probably not saying much, is the best movie I've seen this year for 2021. But again, it's really, really early. So,
Okay.
but Al, did you yourself get to catch any movies in the last couple of weeks?
No, not movies. The only one we saw was last night. We threw on 7 Minutes in Heaven, some movie on Netflix.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's an interesting movie. I wouldn't say it's like a great movie, but I like the concept. It's about two teenagers. They go into a closet, as the name of the movie implies, the old game of 7 Minutes in Heaven. But when they come out in a different place. So it's
wow.
it's a good take. It's not the greatest movie. Kind of like you said, you can wait to watch it, but it's one of those movies, if you got nothing else to do and you're looking for something to put on Netflix, put it on. It'll make you think in terms of what would you do in that situation if you were to see a flip side. So,
wow.
I thought that was it was an interesting movie.
Yeah, man. Absolutely, man. So listen, man, next week. Go for it.
And 30 coins. I don't know. I'm on this foreign show kick.
You know what? I saw the preview to that. It's the Spanish movie, right?
Yeah.
Is it a series or a movie?
It's a series. It's on they're showing it on HBO, like HBO Europe, I think. But if you have HBO Max, you can watch it there. It's if you like horror, if you like watch the show. It's good. Every episode has been real good.
Oh my God, 30 coins. I'm gonna give it a shot. Is it subtitled?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need that out.
Yeah. Nah, it's real good, man. It's a real good show so far.
All right, man. Awesome, man. So listen, guys, I mean, that's going to be our show for this week. Normally when we have, the 3 guys or 4 guys on the podcast there, we go a little bit longer because we get each person's take and opinion. But man, it was a good one to have Al here today to hear your take on WandaVision. It was awesome, man.
Yeah,
but listen, next week we're going to go over that episode 3 for WandaVision and maybe give you a movie review there. We're going to see what movies are coming out this week and see if we can give you guys a little something on that. But definitely we'll give you a review for WandaVision episode 3 for sure on the next podcast there. So listen, guys, coming from Long Island, New York, we thank you as always for listening. We got our man in the chair, Al.
Have a good night, everybody.
Got myself, Hav. Again, thank you for listening. Drop us a comment, subscribe. Hit that little plus symbol on your podcast and make sure we pop up for you every week. And we'll be giving you content every week. Again, we just talk movies with friends. We're just giving you our take. And we appreciate you guys watching. So we'll see you guys on the next episode. Till next time.